What's the worst name a kid can have? A name that everyone else has. When I was growing up there was 6 of us with my name in the 4th grade and 2 of us with the same name and same last initial. It was a cluster. My husband would say a name that isn't found on keychains. He hated that his name is similar to other yet never known. Today, he is still called the other name on a daily basis. That's awful. In Norway, if you don't send in the papers to name your baby within 6 months, they automatically get the most popular name for their assigned gender in their region. So for instance in 2020 the top name's countrywide, not region though, so there's local variations for Jacob or Nora. We just hired a guy whose first, middle, and last name is the same, but spelled 3 different ways. I don't want to actually say his name on the off chance by some miracle he sees this or it gets back to him, but I think it's terrible. Like if your parents named you Sean Lowell. Went to school with a kid named Richard Dick. Did we call him Dick? Of course we did. Worst parents ever. He was already marked with that last name so they had to name him Richard? Cruel. I actually like him. By high school I called him Double D or D squared sometimes. In college one of the guys in my class was called Boot Einstein Win. I'm pretty sure every single person who met him remembers his name more than the guy himself, and use him as an example to these types of questions for the rest of their life. Teresa British chef, Jamie Oliver, who named his children the following: Poppy Honey Rosie, Petal Blossom Rainbow, Buddy Bear Maurice, Daisy Boo Pamela, River Rocky Blue Dallas. Someone called Childline. I'm an English teacher in Asia. All over you have kids with the strangest, sometimes even cringy names. At the moment I have a student named Bless Winner. What were his parents thinking? I worked in admissions as a tour guide in college. When we didn't have tours during our shift we stuffed envelopes. I'll always remember Silve Blades and Mystic Powers receiving mailings. All of his kids have weird names. Daisy Boo Pamela, Poppy Honey Rosie, Buddy Bear Maurice. Edit. So there's another one. River Rocket. Mr. and Mrs. Oliver are busy. Someone named their kid Jackin. The thing is their last name was Alf or something that sounds like off. The guy asked the internet what to name his son and that was a top comment. How about not giving your child a name? There was a kid I went to high school with whose legal first name was unnamed baby boy. I don't know the story behind that though. God, I really hope that one day, the kid Googles her name and somehow stumbles upon this. You know, once she goes through all the candles, lotions, soaps, etc. Unlike some urban legends like La A, there are actually people named this. At least 373. Wife came home from work one day, works at a hospital, and told me a couple had a baby boy and named him Kingslayer. Wish I was kidding. I actually went to school with a guy named Richard Rash. To make it worse, his mother was a teacher there. Poor Dick couldn't catch a break. I actually went to school with a guy named Richard Rash. To make it worse, his mother was a teacher there. Poor Dick couldn't catch a break. Tallulah does the hula from Hawaii. X200B. Ricky Tiki Timbo Nozo Rumbo Hoi Boy Ponchi Poi Pompin Ricky Pompin Niki no Don Poi. Aiden or any variation. Not because of the name itself, but any teacher can tell you students with that name are 99 behavioral issues. Came across someone in a park once, England, nowhere weird, and was yelling Excalibur. Thought it was a dog. No, it was a lad. I met a kid named Quadophius when I was in middle school. He said it was pronounced Quadophius. Worst one I've seen in person. Penelope. Pena in Spanish means penis, so if you want your daughter to be bullied at some point in her life, call her Penelope. My coworker named her baby Strawberry Rain, which would be a great name if she had given birth to a bottle of shampoo. Cunt. But also I get grossed out by the name Chastity. Your thoughts of your newborn daughter are her virginity? Creep. Any name where white people add lyrae at the end to make the name sound fancy. It's such a tragedy. X-12. Musk is a cruel bastard. There are other really terrible names, but that has to be the most idiotic. Met a girl named Jennifer Dunn with a T. Why? Because her parents wanted her to be different. Can't think of any in particular right now, but those names where it's like purposely spelt a different way. Kashma A. Woman with this first name was arrested for stealing $170,000 worth of merchandise from Ulta. I knew a smoking hot Latina. I asked why, and her parents wanted her to have a unique name. Aloysius, pronounced Aloysius. Instant nerd regardless of actual demeanor or physical attributes. Apparently the footballer Gary Neville's father was called Neville. So his name was Neville. My daughter went to school with a kid named Whiskey. He turned out just as you would imagine. Working for TSA, A native woman came through and her name was I've a little big mustache. Went to school with a guy named Benjamin, thought that was unfortunate. I knew a guy who always wanted to be called AJ in school. His legal name was Adolf, Fakhri Arabic popular name but in English pronounced close to Fkimi, embarrassed smiley face. My teacher talked about parents who named their daughter Placenta Marie. Wasn't this question asked yesterday? And the day before? And last week? Worst name I have ever seen was Harold Cumhole. I am not kidding. Chet. It's short for Chester, which is also a terrible name. We met a kid at the playground the other day named Skillet. Still Adolf, probably. Oh, and Karen. Imagine that. Keequan Kwan, I'm pretty sure this is an NFL player's name. Kanjada. And yeah, they get named that. I know of two. Knowledge I saw. Kid on Instagram called that today.